Hi guys, Bryce here from CPAP Direct. In this video, I'm proud to bring you the brand new ResMed AirSense 11 device. Finally been released in Australia and we're so pumped about it. However, how does it stack up against the AirSense 10, which has been ResMed's flagship for such a long time? Is it worth the hype? Is it worth the extra cost? Well, we're gonna find out in this video because I'm gonna put them head to head and show you what the differences are. Stick around. So it's interesting to note that ResMed are actually going to keep the AirSense 10 and the AirSense 11 running parallel in the market in Australia. This is because the AirSense 10 has been such a staple for ResMed and is really well positioned in the market as a great option for anybody that's looking for CPAP therapy, and it's arguably the most popular CPAP device on the planet before the AirSense 11 has been released. So the new model of the AirSense 11, which has come out, has got quite a few differences, and a lot of people ask you what are the differences and is it going to be worth the extra money that it costs to go to the AirSense 11? They say it's really smart. Is that the case? So I'm going to show you a good sort of side-by-side comparison today so you can really have all the answers that you need to decide if it's worth it for you. So first thing I'm going to do is cover the hardware side of the AirSense 11 and how that sort of compares to the AirSense 10. Then we're going to go through connectivity, and lastly, the software, because the software is really the thing that ResMed hang their hat on with this. They're so proud about this device from a coaching perspective and an intuitive perspective. So we're going to cover those sort of things as well. If you put these two devices together, they actually look quite similar. However, the AirSense 11 is a little bit shorter and a little bit narrower than the AirSense 10, and it's actually 23% smaller than the AirSense 10. It's also 9% lighter than the AirSense 10. Interestingly, the power supply on the AirSense 11 is half the weight of the AirSense 10 power supply. So the AirSense 10 power supply is a 90 watt power supply and the AirSense 11 is only 65 watts. And this is because they were able to make the AirSense 11 much more energy efficient in the way that the device runs. Also in the AirSense 11, there's a new filter system at the very back, and the filter is different to that of the AirSense 10. A significant difference between the AirSense 11 and the AirSense 10 is the way that the tube connects at the back. So unlike the AirSense 10, which has a swivel connector, the AirSense 11 has a fixed tube connector. So it just plugs in like that, but there is no swivel capabilities like there is on the AirSense 10. Another cool hardware feature is that the new AirSense 11 also has a touchscreen where you can scroll page by page. A lot of people thought the AirSense 10 should have had a touchscreen, but the new one has definitely got it. All right, let's cover the motor. So the AirSense 10 uses a standard ball bearing style motor, which a lot of CPAP devices use. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet that the AirSense 11 uses the exact same motor as the Air Mini, but that's not the case. It's the same technology, but it's not the same motor. The technology is called a triptych motor, and that's what they use in the AirSense 11. The motor that's in the AirSense 11 is much longer, it fits the chassis really, really well. The great side to it is that it has much less vibrations, so it's more efficient, should last longer. It's not necessarily any quieter, however there is a lot of muffling in this one, and when I use the AirSense 10, which is already a super quiet device anyway, and I use the AirSense 11, it's hard for me to really tell any difference in noise level between the two. So the motor has been upgraded in the AirSense 11. We're excited to see what sort of lifespan we get out of that as well. All right, let's talk connectivity. The AirSense 10 comes in a 4G model, which has an inbuilt 4G cellular modem, and it also has an SD card which backs up the data that is stored on the actual device itself. The AirSense 11 has a 4G modem. It also has Bluetooth, but it does not have an SD card. The reason that it doesn't have an SD card is because it's such a connected device, and the idea is that it will always be talking to the cloud, that you don't actually need to have an SD card in the device. Having said that, if you live in an area where you don't have any Vodafone 4G access or connectivity, and you want to be able to get a copy of your device data and send it to your doctor, for example, then you can always buy a 2 gig SD card and you can give it an SD card. The reason that they have the 4G and the Bluetooth is due to the smart features that we're going to get to in a second. There are two platforms that ResMed use with the AirSense 11. One of them is for you as the consumer and the other one is for us as the clinicians. So the reason that there's Bluetooth built into the AirSense 11 is because that's how the AirSense 11 communicates with the myAir app. This is an app that you need to download onto your mobile device. It's how you unlock all of the cool, funky features that ResMed have built for that device. The 4G side of things is how we as clinicians are able to see detailed data, pull therapy reports, troubleshoot for you, adjust settings, and really have full control over making sure that you have the best experience from a clinician perspective. Our complimentary remote monitoring service uses the AirView platform so that we can give you the best experience as long as you're happy for us to do that for you. Let's cover the software side of this bad boy, because after all, that's why people buy an AirSense 11 is because of the smarts. So, part of the Air Solutions ecosystem is the myAir app that I was just talking about. This is really designed to focus on the user experience and really empower the end user, such as yourself, to take over the therapy and really be involved with it so you can get the most out of it from a sleep coaching perspective. So in the myAir app, when you pair it with your AirSense 11, there are actually 3 different coaching modes. The first one talks you through how to set the machine up. The second one talks about how you set the mask up, and obviously ResMed would prefer it if you're using an AirFit or AirTouch mask, a current one of theirs, although you can use any mask with this, any third-party mask, it doesn't matter, but the experience is really optimized, I suppose, when you're using one of the new ResMed AirFit masks. And there's also a test drive. So once you've set it all up, the test drive helps you put different levels of air on and adjust the mask. It coaches you with some really cool little videos and tips and tricks on how you can adjust the mask to get the best seal, and you're really sort of testing it all out. In addition to that, there's also the Care Check-in section. So Care Check-in is basically a built-in sleep coach function of the AirSense 11. So it's fast and relevant quizzes to get your feedback on how you feel you're going with therapy in the early stages of using the device. These are asked on day 3, day 7, day 14, day 21, day 28, and then again in 6 months' time. The answers that you put into these quizzes about how you feel you're going with your therapy, it will trigger special hints and tips, and we'll also capture that data so that that is sent up to AirView so that we can overlay that with your detailed data and really get a good idea of not just what the data is telling us as far as how it's treating your apneas, but also how you feel about your experience at the moment. This gives us a whole new level of support that we can offer you when we are helping you through your journey as well. It's a very, very cool tool to have. The last software feature I want to talk to you about is actually firmware. The AirSense 10 was a completely closed platform, which means that you couldn't update the software remotely at all. The new device is completely different. So ResMed have done this because as they bring out new updates, maybe bug fixes, or there might be some totally new enhancements or sleep coaching or features that they can push to the device, they can do this remotely with an over-the-air update. So the AirSense 11 is built for that, and periodically you might get messages on your machine saying that the software has been updated on your device. So in conclusion, which one do you go for? The AirSense 10 is a great device. It's been around for a long time. It's bulletproof. It's got a swivel tube. It's a premium quiet device, and for the price point, it's hard to go past. However, if you want the latest technology, the AirSense 11 is smaller, lighter, sleeker. It's definitely sexier, and it's a smarter device. It's got all of the bells and whistles, and it also updates itself as well automatically. Both devices are available from CPAP Direct. Make sure you contact us if you've got any questions, and also remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date with all the latest news, reviews, and special offers.